So today, the day this video is coming out, is my 21st birthday, and I will be working like any normal day. I thought the birthday is that important, but it is a milestone, I guess. So I thought I would make this video as kind of just like a signpost in my life, because I always thought I'd have things figured out by 21. I'd be heavily prepared for my career. I'd be on a solid path and I'd know exactly what I was doing and where I'd be going and what was going on, to be honest. And in some sense, that is the case. But in the way that I originally thought, in terms of a career and a livelihood, I am less right. I have the humility to admit, obviously at 21, I don't have things figured out in a philosophical sense, let alone a career sense. But this video is about how I would like to live out the rest of my life and how I believe I should have been living it earlier on. The first thing is understanding the impermanence of life. And what that means is, obviously, we're gonna die. We are going to die. And for a 21-year-old, I'll probably think about death a little bit too much, but not in like a negative way or a fearful way, but in the sense that we don't have forever. So every minute that we spend procrastinating, every time we don't fulfill a task that we said we were gonna do, every time we do something that negatively impacts our body or our mind and brings us a bit closer, brings that day a little bit further forward, closer to us, that day that we are gonna leave this planet. Every time we do something, or we waste a day, or we do something negative for our livelihood, we really have to ask ourselves why would we just give up time? Why would we waste this life, this finite thing? And because of the reason that I think about this is because for my 21st birthday, I am giving up alcohol. I will not drink alcohol probably ever again in my life. It is a affirmation I want to make in this video. And I wish I had never drunk alcohol in the first place. I think a lot of years could have gone a lot better if I didn't ever start drinking alcohol. But you can't regret what's happened. You have to just learn from your mistakes. So this is me learning. This is me making the change. Another thought about death is obviously, once we die, nothing actually matters. We can't see anything. We can't see the impact we've had after we die. So all we can do in our life is do good by people, serve your family, serve your friends, serve your community, serve the world. Just produce something good. And in death, when that thought comes into their mind of you, they're reminded not only of the impermanence of life, but also the lessons that you lived by, the things that you contributed. They're reminded of the fact that they themselves are gonna die, and they're reminded of what you stood for and what you contributed. And those two things hopefully should remind them that they are going to die themselves. And this person, you, that's passed away, stood for things that mattered and they contributed good things. So hopefully in the time that they have left, they will contribute maybe the same ideas or similar ideas or advancements on your idea. They will advance your contribution. and that is how you live on. But of course, that doesn't, you don't ever see that. It's just like in your life, what you can do is contribute positively. So that's death. Life just will happen. And what we should aim to do is contribute positively so that when we do die, our contribution lives on. When you leave behind material possessions or money, the possessions will not withstand time. They will wither, they will rot. Eventually, they'll just perish. And before that happens, what will probably happen is the sentimentality behind what you leave behind will die. So you may leave an heirloom or a house to your children, and maybe your grandchildren value the sentimentality behind the ring or the house or the car or the books or the photographs even. But a generation after that, and a generation after that, these people that never met you, they're not going to care about the ring, really. It doesn't have any sentimental value to them. The family house is not going to have sentimental value to them unless your contribution, your idea is carried through. And at that point, the value is in the idea and the contribution. So the only way you can live on is not through your possessions, but is by your contribution to the world to make it a better place. It's kind of two things in one there. One, that we shouldn't waste our life. We shouldn't do things that bring death closer to us, like ruining our mind or ruining our body. We shouldn't do things like that. In the time that we do have, we should positively contribute so that in death, after death, if we do want to live on, then we do so by our contribution and our ideas to those around us. So that when they think of us, they are reminded that they are going to die one day and that they should make something of their lives too. Another thing that at 21, how I'd like to live the rest of my life is in a state of gratitude, to always be grateful, no matter what the circumstances. Because as long as I'm breathing, I'm speaking, I'm moving, I can think, then I'm capable of being fulfilled and being happy. When it comes to it, you can always be grateful that you can breathe. Like at the bottom level, right now, I'm grateful for the apartment I'm sat in. I'm grateful for my parents for providing me with education, providing me with the ability to sit here. You can always be grateful for what you're given. And in turn, you can take that gratitude and you can repay it through service to those around you, to your loved ones, to people who might need a helping hand. Always be grateful. In fact, something I started doing this year when I was 20 is gratitude journaling every single day. 3 things I'm grateful for, 3 things I'm excited for, 3 priorities of the day. Because it grounds you, it reminds you that you have just been given things that you don't deserve. And you should be grateful for that. Even in negative situations, you could be grateful. Today, my apartment didn't have hot water, so I had to take a cold shower. But I was firstly grateful that that was not the norm, that I do normally have hot showers. But I was also grateful for the energy that I received from the cold shower. And if you look at life like that, then it becomes very, very difficult to deter you and for things to knock you off your course, or for your day to be ruined by small things that are not in your control. And that's the 4th thing, control. I want to be accountable and responsible for everything in my control, but then for the things that are not in my control, to understand that there's nothing I could do to change them. And so rather than wanting it to change, rather than wanting something that I can't control to change, I should want it to be the way it is. I have to learn to want it to be the way it is. So for example, if the weather is raining, it's pouring. I'm in Manchester at the moment, it's raining all the time. Rather than wanting it to be sunny, I can learn to live with the rain. I can adapt. I can be grateful that, it's hard to be grateful for rain, but I can't control it. What good does it do me by being upset by it raining? It doesn't. So I just have to let it breeze by. I have to adapt and live with it. The things that I can control, my emotions, I should not be controlled by my emotions, but instead I should control them. I shouldn't pen up my emotions. I shouldn't suppress them. I shouldn't neglect them. I should take a look at them, analyze them, and deal with them. That's something I've not done well. That's something I've not done well at all in my life so far. We shouldn't be controlled by exterior things. We shouldn't be controlled. Our actions shouldn't be dictated by conformity, by our family, by relationships, by money, by careers. Our actions should be controlled. I kind of lost that point there. The things that we cannot control should not take up our time, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. I lost my thought there. I completely messed up. It is what it is. Hopefully that's one thing that I'll improve as I get older, is my delivery, my articulation of thought. Because that was terrible. But anyway, so I should be able to understand what I can control and what I can't. And the things that I can control, they're on me. And I should be fulfilling them to the best of my ability. The things that I can control and can change, I shouldn't stop endeavoring in them until my moral conscience is clear, or I've done them to the best of my ability, whichever one comes last. So that means if I'm given a task, and right now the best I can do is not enough for my moral conscience to be clear, that means I need to learn the skills, and I need to educate myself and practice until I can fulfill the task effectively. For example, if I am currently not good at dealing with my emotions in a relationship, if I'm not good at communicating my emotions in a relationship, I do not currently possess that skill. But just because I'm not good at that thing yet, does not mean that is okay to stop there. My moral conscience is not clear until I am good at communicating my emotions and dealing with them effectively in a relationship situation. So it is up to me to learn, to practice, and to be better, just to get better. It is not okay to just think I've done my best in this situation. I can only feel good enough. The task is only complete once my morality, my moral compass has been fulfilled. So when things are in our control, we need to carry them out to the best of our ability, or to the point where our morals have been fulfilled. Again, going a little bit wobbly there, but forgive me, it's my birthday. The next two things are less philosophical and more practical. First of the two is to live in accordance with nature. And that means to be in nature more, to walk in nature more, to go into the ocean more. The times I felt most alive have been when I'm on holiday, but not the fact that I'm away, but the fact that I'm on the beach, I'm on the sea, in the sea, in the sun, just not thinking about anything. I'm just free in nature. In the UK, the times where I felt the most free is when I'm just on a walk, where nothing from the outside world is just penetrating my thoughts. It's just me and I'm present in nature. So from my 21st, I want to, from 21 years old, I want to be outside every single day. I want to go on a walk every single day, and I want to be in nature as much as possible. I want to live in accordance with nature. I don't want to go on holiday just to relax on the beach. I want to be present there. I don't want to be taking photos and just thinking about like the stories I'm going to tell of the holiday that I've been. I don't want to be on my phone whilst I'm there. I want to be present. Every single day I want to be present in nature. Every single day without fail. So that's to do with my mental health. So every day, be at one with nature, live in accordance with nature from now on. The final thing is to test my body every single day, to do something physical. At the moment, I go to the gym like every other day, and I need to get better at that. Perhaps going to the gym every other day is fine, but on those days that I don't go, I need to do something physical. I need to test my body. And I believe it was Seneca who said that you need to keep the body in line. You need to test the body so that it serves the mind, so that the mind is always in control. Your mind should always be in control of your body. Just doing something physically hard every single day from now on. That is how I want to live my life. So as I said, this is my 21st birthday. I always thought I'd have everything figured out, but instead just have these principles that I want to live by. And I know that these will change over time, and they're not right. They're not the correct thing to follow, but they will change, and they're a good starting point, I think. When I was a teenager, I thought by 21 I'd be in the peak of my life, and I guess I was half right, because it's the peak so far, but I really hope it's just gonna keep going up. That is my hope. That's the purpose of this video. It's like a signpost in time. These are what I want to carry forward for the rest of my life, and I wish I'd started doing so earlier. You can tell I'm pretty new to speaking on camera because it really didn't flow. I lost my train of thought a few times. This will not leave me on a moral level. I will not be satisfied by this video. So it is up to me to keep improving on delivery, improving on articulation, so that one day I do think I'm doing well enough. I cannot stop here. It'll be interesting how my beliefs change over time. But I think these are pretty good grounding principles for a 21-year-old. We'll see. I don't have anything figured out, but I've managed to figure these out in the nick of time. If you watch this, I don't know why you would. This is kind of just a note to self, but thank you. And I've got to go to work, so yeah, thank you and good luck.